Well, guys, it's now time for another episode of the Liberal Asshole Show, episode 16. And today's topics, we have 6 listed right now. We might add a little bit more. In no particular order, what I'm going to talk about, we're going to do the leftist values quiz, which remember we did a quiz in the last episode, but this one's specifically about liberals and leftists. And of course, as we're huge Pokemon fans, we are going to react to the Pokemon announcement that happened a few weeks ago. Brilliant Diamond, Shine Pearl, and Legends Arceus. And of course, Vlog wanted to talk about Pokemon shipping. And of course, I wanted to do a huge rant about the video game industry. And of course, we wanted to also talk about Andrew Cuomo's scandals that came up lately, especially since it affects Harry in particular. And of course, we wanted to make fun of some idiots that might be running for 2024 president. This is going to be great, and possibly other topics too. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about, let's get all of them out of the way, since we're huge Pokemon fans, let's start by reacting to the Pokemon announcements that happened 2 weeks ago. I already did a video on that, if y'all didn't see that, after it was announced. Did you all see them?
Yeah.
I saw bits of it. No, I didn't, unfortunately. I kind of just ran out of time to watch it.
So, of course, for anyone that doesn't know, this year is Pokemon's 25th anniversary, and they announced a bunch of games for the 25th anniversary, too. The new Pokemon Snap, which, looking forward to that. And then they were making possibly 3 main series games, since we're not fully sure about the other one yet. But first off was the Diamond Pearl remake that's been 15 years in the making. What was it? Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, or at BDSP as we call it by its initials.
Yep.
And then that's coming out in later this year. And then early next year, there was supposed to be a game called Pokemon Legends Arceus, which seems kind of more like the Breath of the Wild game that fans have been wanting for a long time. Yep. So, I guess, what do y'all two want to talk about first?
Okay, well...
I guess maybe the Diamond Pearl remake?
Yeah, I can already say we've got a couple of hints for that we're going to get platinum content.
Oh, really? Where'd you hear that from? Where'd you hear that from?
I saw that on a couple of screenshots. But showed the woman that gave you the Grassadier flowers in platinum. And there was another screenshot I saw that had another platinum exclusive event.
Yeah, because that's something I said too in the video of when they did the Diamond Pro remakes. I hope they make like post-game content be involving around platinum. Can you imagine going through Distortion World again? That would be awesome.
Oh, yes.
Harry, anything you want to say? Didn't you say Diamond Pro was the first games you played?
They actually, when they announced Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I was pretty happy about it because because I'm relatively young. The first Pokemon game I played was Pokemon Diamond on the DS. So of course it hits very close to home for me because when they announced the remake, because it was my first game, Pokemon Diamond, that is. And yeah, I was happy they announced them. Like I know there's this whole debate like about the national decks and stuff. Like some people are moderate, some people are hardcore on the one side like Utempo, or on the other side like defending Game Freak, which is not my opinion. But I look forward to buying these games. I don't know, like there's only because it was the first Pokemon game that I ever played. So yeah, I look forward to the Diamond and Pearl remakes being released because they're very special to me, so yeah.
And of course, maybe we talk about some of the stuff we see. Like, what you guys got to say about the artwork, the chibi artwork they're trying to make like Gen 4? Ugh. Honestly,
okay.
the way that looks, the way that looks, it made me give the impression that it's like a port or a remastered version of the games instead of being like an actual remake. What do you think?
It's Ilka. The third-party studio that have done it. They have what was it? They've from what I can see, they've basically taken the 2D Gen 4 things and made it 3D, which I like, but it's going to take getting used to.
So Game Freak basically outsourced the production of this game, like to Ilka, like
the graphic.
Why?
Well, they remember they ditched Creature Inc. after their after they lost most of the Pokemon sprites with their catastrophic import failure. So that one was. It's sort of screenshot that of Greninja with its eyes missing, and one or two other things that were like, oh, that would explain why our big chunk were gone.
And so you're saying Game Freak lied again? Why am I not surprised? You got these screenshots. I would like to see them.
I know what they were trying to do. They were trying. It's part of a wider thing. We'll get into it more with the video game industry, since Toru Iwata died.
Yeah,
the changes happened, and it's also something with East versus West.
Yeah, that's another thing too. But I would like to see those screenshots later if you can find them.
Yeah, I can probably find it.
But I am not a fan of all of that chibi art style they did. I'm just not liking it, especially since you saw when you're in battle they have everyone's model sprites looking pretty damn good. I don't know why they couldn't try with that instead. But I got a feeling that it's gonna be more like a port or a remaster of the game. That's just the impression I'm getting so far from what I've seen, other than what you saw about the stuff you said about the Platinum editions.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll have to wait.
It could potentially be a mix of those two, where it is a thing of Diamond and Pearl, but they've got Platinum content in there as well. Honestly, that's good. I think it's a good thing, and definitely a good thing, because Cyrus is definitely more challenging in Platinum than he was in Diamond and Pearl.
That reminds me too.
For example.
That reminds me too. There was, I don't know if this is relevant or not. There was, I can't remember where. I think it was on Reddit where I found this like a month ago. There was supposedly a rumor, leak about the Diamond and Pearl remakes. If y'all want to talk about them before I remember off the top of my head. So
what could it be?
Well, one of them was, I believe the Sinnoh were supposed to get, I guess maybe a Mega Evolution or some sort of new form, and one of the examples was Torterra apparently would become, I believe it would be ground and rock instead of, grass and rock instead of grass and ground. That was one of the things I heard.
Huh.
Wow.
And there was
the same type as Cradley.
Well, I'm not. And then there was another one, I definitely don't, I hope this one isn't true, but supposedly Team Galactic was supposed to have a new leader completely. It was supposed to be a young woman, which, come on, really, please don't replace Cyrus. Come on.
It's Japan. They don't care about that shit.
Cyrus is awesome. Why would you want to do that? Come on. And there was
I mean, if you want to do a backup leader, you got Sharon. I think more like, I don't know about that second one. I don't think that'll be accurate. Because Cyrus was the leader and Sharon took over. Sharon took over in when Cyrus failed to return from the distortion world.
And the final one I remember off the top of my head was that Dialga and Palkia were supposed to get an ultimate Mega Evolution, kind of like Groundon and Kyogre have their primal forms, and I believe it was supposed to take either their Dragon type or their Steel and Water type and make it Psychic. That's the only other one I can remember off the top of my head. We gotta see about that.
I doubt it. Dialga and Palkia have awesome types, so with only a couple of weaknesses, so it doesn't matter. So I don't think they'd wreck that by making them a Metagross and a Starmie, respectively. I just don't think it would work. Or another Latios and Latios.
And there was 4 other things, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So Harry, what do you have to say about those?
What are the things you mentioned?
Yeah.
No, I mean I've heard about those rumors covered by some PokeTubers, but they're certainly interesting. But honestly, I agree with Log that they shouldn't change the Dialga and Palkia's typing because
it would give them it wouldn't change their type. It would give them a new form, basically, like a primal type. like a primal form, like primal Groundon, primal Kyogre, like a mega evolution.
Yeah. No. A primal form. Yeah, that'd be interesting. But I grew a vlog that their water dragon and water steel tappings are better. Water dragon and
Dragon steel, dragon water.
Oh, I'm confused then.
As I said, I've also heard. I think most likely, if it would be anything, it'd be maybe Gigantamaxing, like they have in Swish. They did that with Gen 6 with Mega Evolution. So there is historical precedent for it.
Even though I could have sworn I said it was supposed to be only in Galar, remember? Of course they can't. Yeah, exactly.
They said that with Mega Evolution
as well. Yeah, that too, I remember that.
Popped up in Holland.
Yep, exactly. Alright, so I can't really think of else left to talk about, unless you want to say something, Harry?
One last thing. Do you guys, what gimmick do you think these remakes are going to have, or not really?
Well, it should have contests, and we saw the Underground, they're bringing that in.
Oh, yeah. Those were in the original Diamond and Pearl games, which I obviously remember because I played Diamond when I was younger, so. I mean, so it would make sense because it was in the original game, so. I mean,
yeah. Can't really think of off the top of my head what. Oh, the Poke Seals, remember?
Yes.
I never even got to use them once yet because I could never find them. Sad. But can't think of anything else on my head. So I guess we're done talking about BDSP. So now let's talk about Legends Arceus. Since I already talked about that.
This looks really cool. This looks like a as you said, a Breath of the Wild like game.
So from what I remember correctly, it took place 40 years, I believe it said, before Diamond and Pearl. And of course, you could tell since the Pokeballs are old. For any of you who don't remember, this might be a little bit older, but remember, any of you have seen Pokemon Forever? The fourth movie?
Oh, the fourth movie. It's been a while.
The fourth movie involves Celebi and Suicune, and in the movie...
Oh, yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of that. Yeah, I haven't seen the full thing, but I've seen a fair bit of it.
But I've seen the movie. So anyways... In that movie, Professor Oak actually traveled forward in time 40 years in the present where Ash's timeline was when he was a 10-year-old. And in the movie, he actually had a Pokeball with a Charmeleon in it. And it was a ball he had to turn a knob. And then it finally opened up for the Charmeleon to come out. Like, that's how old we're talking about. Back probably in the really old Apricorn days. And then, so yeah, I think, they did say it would take place 40 years ago. And I saw one artwork of the Pokeballs. It looked very similar to one of the Apricorn balls, if I remember correctly. But it also seemed to maybe work like a modern Pokeball, so maybe it's somewhere in between that time.
Possibly.
Because I'm trying to think. I can't remember off the top of his head. But yeah, it's supposed to be 40 years in advance. There's no league that we know of, not even gyms and all that, like at the very old times of Sinnoh. And I think they said you're supposed to just go around catching Pokemon to fill up the Pokedex.
Yeah. Well, what did you think of different starters from different regions?
I don't like that. I fucking hate that so much. I had a meltdown when they did that. It's Sinnoh! Fucking keep it Turtwig, Chipchar, and Piplup for God's sake! So we all have to say about that. And of course, for anyone who didn't know, they made the stars. It was Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott instead.
Yeah.
So what do you two have to say about that?
Yeah, I find the thing a bit weird.
Harry?
I don't know why they went for it. Turtwig, Torterra, Infernape, and Empoleon are actually pretty good.
Plus, they're from that region. So, Harry, anything you had to say?
I just wanted to say that obviously Pokemon Legends Arceus looks very interesting, and obviously I have a Nintendo Switch Lite, so I played Breath of the Wild. So I look forward to buying that game as well and seeing like how similar it is to Breath of the Wild, like the Zelda game, because I played that as well. I agree with you, Timbo, that they should have kept the original like Chimchar, Turtwig, and Piplup starters and not like mix them up like so. Yeah. Wait. So do we know anything else about this game, or how else would the mechanics be like? How,
they said in the video that supposedly you yourself would be involved in the battles, but they never said or showed specifically what do they mean by like you actually fighting or you having like some sort of ability or anything like that. What it looked like in the video though, it showed you doing like battle posing, like remember like in all since Gen 7 they would show you behind your Pokemon, and when you make an attack, you point at your opponent.
Oh, yeah, the Z moves, yeah, like the Z moves.
But I don't know exactly what this is. It didn't say anything about Z moves.
It might be so that might then either that or might be using that for giving buffs to Pokemon or something like that.
But definitely, I would like if they actually showed you.
I doubt it's like the manga where you'd actually have to dodge their attacks.
And then I wonder if it's the showing just the poses, because that would be nice to actually see your poses from behind you actually doing it. Since remember in the Gen 7, 8 games, you almost can never see yourself doing it at all. Only your opponent. I've always hated that.
Wait, Timbo, aren't the poses based on Z moves, or not really, or just in general?
I have no idea. It didn't say anything about Z moves. I'm talking about like just being behind your Pokemon when you attack, you point at your opponent, like in Sun and Moon, Ultra and Ultra Moon. Whereas in those games, you could not see yourself doing it at all. Whereas here, hopefully, it looks like you could. That's one thing I hated about Gen 7, that they wouldn't let you see you doing it, but you could see your opponent just fine. Like, have the camera behind you, not behind your Pokemon, basically.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. We don't know anything really about the plot yet. We'll have to wait and see. So, anything else you two want to talk about the games?
I don't think there really is that much.
Other than, hopefully, the national decks will be in there. Otherwise, I'm passing it. And, of course, I don't know about Legend Arceuse's plot. So, if it's just catching Pokemon, it sounds mostly like Go to me.
There's more to it, almost certainly. But
we don't know yet.
Again, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
As for the national decks, I know at least that Chingling and Chimecho are in, because I saw them in the...
Well, of course they would have to be in, since they're part of Sinnoh's decks.
Yeah, so I'd say at least the first 4 gens are fully available.
At least all of Sinnoh decks, too, which you gotta wonder what decks are they gonna use. Are they gonna use Diamond Pearls, or are they gonna use Expanded Platinums? Hopefully Expanded Platinum, too. Oh, God.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, the Diamond...
They would have to use Expanded Platinum. They would not get away with using only the Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, that would be so terrible. Just having Chimchar, Ponyta for fire, fucking Snover, and one other ice type. Like, God, that was so bad. Dex design. All right, I don't think I could think of anything else to talk about the game, so I guess we move on to the next topic. And I think we should keep it Pokemon related, and I guess talk about what Vlog wanted to talk about: Pokemon ship-ins.
Yep.
Now, of course, before we begin, for anyone who doesn't know what shipping is, it's a common thing like in the anime communities where you ship 2 people together like as a romantic couple.
Yep.
So, now, of course, before you begin, my question is, what shippings are you talking about? Are you talking about just exclusively anime, or are you talking about the game shippings or the manga shippings too?
Well, I guess we could start with anime, since that's the one we're the most familiar with. Maybe the video games as well. I'd briefly reference manga, but I don't know. But I don't think you two have really.
I've read a good chunk, but I know one of the shipping in one of the manga is canon. Remember, that's Rocket, Electric Tail Pikachu. And for anyone who don't know, Rocket shipping is the pairing of Jesse and James from the anime, and Electric Tail Pikachu, which is one of the manga, came out at the end of the manga. They became a couple and they actually are having a kid.
Yep.
And I think it was the writer of it explicitly endorses it and like supports it to the point I find this really funny from I read up earlier before we were going to talk about this. I got to look this up too, but supposedly he actually made some sort of like hentai about it too. I got to look that up.
Okay.
I got to see that. I got to see that. That's true. That would be too funny.
That would be awesome.
So, Vlog, since you want to talk about it, I guess you want to bring up yours?
Okay, so my main one I'm into is ability shipping, which is Ash and Salon Maiden Annabelle. I reckon Salon Maiden Annabelle is probably the only major one who could really push Ash to get better. Stronger, and want to be able to take it up there.
But not
other ones like May, Dawn, Misty, Serena, Iris, and them. They could push Ash to some degree, but they wouldn't be able to push him really hard like Annabelle would be able to.
in terms of battling, you mean?
Yeah, battle skill, training, everything. Various pairs would fail in certain areas.
But of course, it wouldn't matter in terms of coupling since he hasn't hit Age of Attraction yet, remember?
I don't know about that. There's a couple of articles, a couple of things I've read. Dude's Italian, but he's written all right English, where he actually does show that Ash ages up steadily in as the series goes on.
But they keep saying in the canon of the anime that he's still 10, though, so we have to go by that.
They only did that in black and white. And they did that when they did the reset in Alola, but that was a reset. And that one only goes, and the one I'm talking about goes up to Gen 6.
But since it starts off, means still going into Gen 7, though, so if they say he's 10 in Gen 7, we have to go by that, though. Where's a conflict?
No,
you always have...
Gen 7's a soft reboot, like Gen 5 was.
But still, the canon plot.
I know that they reference all of his older Pokemon, but it's really weird.
Just like remember too, like in conflicts like the English and Japanese dub, whenever there's a conflict, you always have to side with the Japanese one since that's the original.
Yeah.
All right. So, what other shipping do you want to talk about?
Well,
like one.
Probably the other major ones is who do people who do others ship Ash with?
The one I believed always the most was Pokey shipping.
So that would be Misty.
Yeah.
While Harry is Serena, if I remember correctly.
Did he even talk about shipping?
Yeah, we did for a bit.
Yeah.
And I think you're still there, Harry?
No, yeah, I'd say my I guess my favorite shipping would be Ash and Serena. Yeah.
One they call the Moore shipping.
Oh yeah, it's called it's called a Moore shipping. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That one. When Serena was shoved into Ash's backstory, that just turned me off to that pairing completely.
Yeah,
I
can see that being the case. So, Harry, anything you say since you've never talked at all about this so far?
Yeah, basically, no, I guess I agree with Log pretty much, but no, I don't know, as I've said, personally, I don't know, because I saw the X and Y anime when I was 13 when it first came out. I don't know, that anime kind of made me, it kind of made my favorite shipping be Ash and Serena, because I feel there's they have a past together and there's something going on between them. But while yes, I agree that Annabelle is a better trainer and stronger because she's a frontier brain, I still, I don't know, I guess I still prefer based on pure preference, I still prefer Ash and Serena. So yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah, for me, I think probably the more believable one would be Pokey, and probably the more likely would be Rocket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rocket will be, of course, quite obviously canon.
Well, in Electric Tail, yes, it definitely is.
I know. Yeah, and while it's not confirmed in the manga, in the anime, I mean, they do thing are you like an old married couple, and it's so funny.
Yep. You only haven't talked about the video game shipping yet.
Yes. Okay.
One thing I always liked, the one I always I don't remember what it was called, was with Ress and Rui from Coliseum.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah, that one was pretty obvious.
Yep.
Who else was there?
There was also that really funny one, with Lucas and Dawn in Diamond and Pearl, where Mars was like, "What are you two, some lovey-dovey couple on the run or something like that?" Remember that? That was so funny. And then, of course, remember in the manga too, Ruby and Sapphire, that's canon too.
Yeah.
Ruby confirmed it.
I was going to bring up manga ones because the big divide there is between Poker manga, which is red and misty, and special, which is red and yellow. I'm on the red and yellow side. That one hardcore.
And I haven't read that much, but wasn't there like a thing with blue and silver? And remember,
that one's more a familial one from what I've seen and heard. The one I'm interested in would be silver and crystal.
I never heard of that one yet.
Green and blue. God, that one's funny.
Remember, they're swapped names. Remember,
those two would be a very interesting thing. They probably would argue like an old married couple a lot, but they'd love it. Be so loving.
And of course, remember, like the in between Diamond, Pearl, and Platina, whatever her name was, Berlitz.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Those were really funny. I can't.
You know what? I know it's not canon in the canon manga series, but I'd love to see it.
What?
The guy who had a hatred of Team Plasma being de-radicalized, and the ex-member of Team Plasma. That would be Whitley. Whitley is her canon name, and Hugh.
I remember that. That was always a common one in the video game too.
Yeah.
For black and white too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sadly, I haven't gotten that far in the manga to even know anything much about it.
That one's just like, that one's, ship the Pokedex holders. So, Blake, the, counterpart for Nate, is basically a sociopath. He'll fight for the good side, but, he can't feel emotions.
Kind of like an anti-hero like Kaiba?
He's basically a hero counterpart. He's basically hero Kaiba, yeah.
Alright, I can't think of any other shippings you all want to talk about. Maybe you want to get to the next topic?
Yeah.
Alright,
yeah.
Now of course...
no, one more.
What?
Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Sun/Elio and Lily.
Oh, yeah, that one! Oh my god, I cannot stop buying Yuri hentai of that everywhere.
That's Moon and Lily. I'm talking about Sun and Lily as well. That one's super popular as well.
Don't see that as much. It's usually Selene. Oh, boy. That's like one of the common hentai shippings in Pokemon. Just like, oh god, don't even get me started in the Yu-Gi-Oh! One. It's always like 5 shippings in Yu-Gi-Oh! Remember, in terms of hentai.
Oh god, the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Bakura and Merrick, Yogi and Kaiba, Joey and Yugi, Dark Magician Girl, and Taya getting gangbanged by black dudes. Those are like the 5 common things.
Then it's like, how would you like Yugi with Taya, Rebecca, and Dark Magician Girl?
That's almost never, though. That's the sad thing. That's almost never how I see it. It's almost always Yugi and Joey or Yugi and Kaiba.
I know, it took the fandom took a massive yaoi turn.
Yep, a huge yaoi turn indeed.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yeah.
We need to get to the next topic, though, which all fun and good we had so far. Now I'm going to get probably really mad. And that's talking about my rant on the video game industry, which I wrote down earlier, but can't fucking find it, which makes me so mad. Now, we actually talked about this in an earlier episode when Harry wasn't around. Remember, vlog, we were talking about the microtransition problem?
Yes.
2 years ago. That's one thing we still stand by. That shit needs to not be allowed whatsoever. So, oh god. There's a lot of things that, like, the whole video game industry needs to be, like, honestly, maybe it just needs to have another video game crash, because I can't think of a way they're gonna fix this and stay the current rate that they're going. It's, like, really, really bad. Oh god, I'm trying to remember everything off the top of my head. Maybe you two want to start?
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. The whole system in Japan, Japan's probably the big one when it comes to this, it's just fucked.
A lot of
it really is pretty bad.
But of course, we know the main problem for it, though. Good old capitalism, of course. Run amok and not control the course. Be it with our greedy pinching, like cutting features from games, doing microtransactions, DLCs, expansions, packs, and all that, which is very common in the computer game industry, which I'm a PC Master Race motherfucker, so that's very fucking annoying when they do. Yeah, and of course, that's a huge thing, like in, not really Victoria 2, but the other Paradox games where they make like 10 expansions for like each game, and they price them like at $50 each, and it's fucking ridiculous and all that shit when they could have had them all in the main game. And of course, they work their workers to death, which is why the video game industry needs unions for video game developers. Definitely needs that to stop the crunch. And of course, forcing games out like Swish and other video games that come out fucking broken, so they have to do stupid, huge day one patches, which takes forever to download, and it should never be done in the first place. The video game should be done as soon as it comes out! Like, Jesus Christ. That happened recently.
What was it?
Remember
one of the recent games.
Like fucking Fallout 76, remember?
Yeah, Fallout 76 is just permanently broken.
Yeah. Go on.
I can't remember the name. It was one of the recent ones that they had done a bunch of patches before the game was out. It came out super broken. Then they did another patch, which patched a bunch of them, and then broke a whole bunch of other things. And then they broke a bunch of other stuff. And so it's like,
Yeah, it happened in BeamNG like last month when they updated the game and they broke a whole bunch of our mods for my monster truck tracks, which was really annoying. I'm still trying to fix them to this day. Very aggravating.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my god. Harry, you haven't talked about it once. Maybe you want to talk about it?
I just wanted to say that. Obviously, I agree with you guys that the video game industry does need more regulation, and we need more unions so they don't overwork their staff to death, like they currently do. But I agree with obviously I'm not gonna defend their fucking greedy practices, but Timbo, you guys are so against microtransactions, but if you think about it, how the fuck are they gonna make money if they don't have some?
They can find other ways to make money.
No, but are there any? I mean, simply pricing a game $60 is not gonna be enough money for them. So
raise the video game prices. They're actually undervalued for what they are. If you didn't know that.
Huh.
If they were actually being priced at what they should be, the video games right now would be like $90 to $100, if not maybe more each.
Wow.
So we're actually paying less than what they are. Kind of like how when PS3 came out. Remember that how big it was? Like the biggest version was like $600, which was a massive price shock. They actually were valued at almost $1,000, but they undersold them, and they hoped that software sales would coop up the loss they would be making from Sony would.
Yeah.
So that's one thing they could do. Sell games at higher prices and they can recoup that way. Another thing is the video game industry just needs to radically change. Video games are just way too expensive to make, and something just needs to change.
Yeah.
Another thing, maybe not make so many damn video games like yearly releases, like Madden, all of them. Maybe make one game every few years and just release a yearly roster update. But of course, we know damn well EA would never, ever, ever do that because that would massively cut in their money.
That's what Nintendo is doing with Smash Bros. Ultimate. They're bringing in a new character every now and then. And I think they did that with Mario Kart 8 before releasing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch.
But of course, that's still you had to pay for, right? So that would be classified to me as like DLC or microtransaction, which I don't want ever either. For me, well, here's for me. I'm sure you two know that I'm making a Victoria 2 mod, right?
Yes.
I'm not gonna do like everyone else, like on the server I'm on, where they'll release the mod and then once in a while update it either with more stuff to it or fix broken stuff on it. No. For me, my belief is when it comes to video games, when you make a game, it should be 100% finished and working when it comes out. No patches, nothing. It should just be done when it's out. No fixing anything, no anything, just be done. And that's why I'm not going to release my Victoria 2 mod until it's 100% done and working properly. And that's something like they need to stop doing rushed video game releases. When developers say they need more time, guess what? You need to tell the investors and of the companies and all them that are pressuring them to release the games to go fuck off and honestly drop dead. And they need to go stop and leave the developers alone. When they say they need more time, you give them more time. Oh my god. So anything you
but Timbo, the only way you can fix that is with with new laws that say that they're not allowed to release unfinished products.
Yeah, fuck yeah, do that. You can't release broken, unfinished games. Because that is anti-consumer, big time anti-consumer. And then especially when they lie about them too.
Yeah, Timbo, I agree. I'm not going to defend obviously unfinished games, but no, I agree they shouldn't do that. It should be illegal. But Timbo, the reason they do that, I feel like they only do it because instead of like pricing games at $100, they price them at $60 and release DLC and microtransactions because they make more money that way. That's why. So it's kind of hard to incentivize them to not do it anymore because they make more money.
Well, first off, remember the Xbox X Series and PS5, they're at $70 now, so $60 is not even really a thing anymore. They're going up to $70 now. But guess what? You regulate them so they can't do it, and they have to find other ways to make money that's not anti-consumer. Too bad for them. I don't give a shit about the investors and all their complaint. I don't care about them. They can go fuck off for all I care. I'm a video gamer. I care about the video games. I care about the consumer. That's all I care about. Not them. They're nothing but contempt for me. Another thing, too, with the video game industry, which, Harry, I brought this up to you. Another thing that needs to change in the video game industry is the consumers, too. When a game is broken and all that crap, and something that you don't like me with the National Dex and Pokemon, you must not buy the games at all. You must not buy them, because guess what? It doesn't matter how bad a game is reviewed. Look at Fallout 76. That was reviewed in the tank. Look at Madden recently. That got a 4 out of 100 recently. But they still sold millions of copies. But guess what? It doesn't matter how bad a review is. As long as the game sells millions of copies, that's all they care about. All they care about is your money. So, if you hold your nose and don't buy the fucking games, then they'll have to be forced to listen because now you're hurting them where it hurts the most. Their wallet. That's what the video game industry... Yep, that's why the video game industry, when there's something in the video game that you don't like, that you hate really much, like me with the National Dex for Pokemon, or if a game is that fucking broken that needs to have fucking patches, day one patches when it come out, eventually you need to just say no! You need to say no! Or you're not buying it, and that's final until you change your ways. And that's why, Harry, you will be part of the problem if you get the Pokemon games out of the National Dex in my eyes. Now do you understand it? God damn.
And also obstruct people from getting them as well. Make it harder for them.
What do you mean make it harder for them?
As in actually make it, as in if you can just stand there for 3 hours and then they're going to get around you.
That might be too much for me. Just make it more like peer pressure, but not actually stop people from buying games.
Nah, not there, but make it so they've got to just inconvenience them a bit.
Or pressure them to realize that what they're doing is harming their video game series and video game industry. I don't want, Pokemon, example, to end up like other beloved video game series of mine, like Madden, SimCity, Command & Conquer. Oh god, Command & Conquer, that one hurts so bad, see it dead. And other video game series. I want them to do well. And of course, that's another thing too, in the Pokemon community. And the Monster Truck community I'm experiencing too. Oh, if you criticize, like Furry Retard, remember? If you criticize Pokemon, you're not a true Pokemon fan. And all this gatekeeping entitlement crap, no.
Even though you could argue they're the ones who aren't true Pokemon fans. Okay, here's a mini rant for me. Don't stop using the not a true Pokemon fan argument because it can be turned right back on you.
Just like how Furry Retard said. Wait. Just remember, Furry Retard complained about Legends Arceus, and remember he said, "You're not a true Pokemon fan if you criticize the games." He's not a true Pokemon fan. Fucking idiot.
Yeah. Even though if you go by his own rules, he's the one who's not a real Pokemon fan.
Great. So as you were saying.
Because, so, for example, if you are not willing to criticize games that have issues in a game, or even you're not a true Pokemon fan. You see how dumb that is?
Yep. Oh, God.
And that is why that argument is stupid. Don't stop using it.
But I'm furry retard.
Being every yes in the book as well.
But I'm
when you're responding to us.
But
stop being every yes in the book.
But I'm a furry retard. I can say whatever I want and it never sticks to me, remember, you silly libtard?
Furry Nazi, you do realize that your channel viewership is non-existent, despite your nearly 500,000 subscribers.
That's because they're all just hating me and using dislike bots to take down my videos. Oh!
It's not dislike. They don't like or dislike. He disables the dislikes anyway, so you don't actually know.
And Harry, are you there? So, Harry, anything to say about this rant?
Wait, so basically you support a fucking, I don't know, like mass movement to like stop buying Pokemon games so they bring back the national decks? Is that what you're...
Yeah, for me. And it's not just the national decks, too. They need to fix a whole bunch of things. If a game is that bad, you have to say no matter what. Because, like I said, where it hurts them is their wallet. They don't care how bad... LGPE and Switch, the last few Pokemon games, are the two lowest reviewed Pokemon games, if you two didn't know that. LGPE got in the 70s, which is the first time a main series Pokemon game has ever been that low. Ever. Yet LGPE, although it's still, I think it was the lowest selling remake game, still made 13 million. And of course, Switch now over 20 million, which is the first time, only the third ever Pokemon game to ever get to 20 million. Yeah, you have to say no matter what when a game is that bad. You just have to say no. And buying it is going to hurt the video game, and it's going to encourage them to make it worse. So, Harry...
Didn't Distant Kingdom say that they were going to be like, oh, if you want to play this game, they're going to throw like everything you do was microtransactions at one point? Or was that a little over... Or it was like, he did something that was like... It's something that was like, really on a lot of some things, but you're going a bit far there.
I don't know, but another thing too, since you reminded me, the modern community too, the video game industry.
Yes, Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo. This is a huge problem with you. You need to stop being so anti-modding community, like with Pokemon Uranium. Remember that? Remember that giant fiasco you had? You need, and of course, other video game industries too. I mean, at least Sony and Microsoft aren't as bad, and the computer industry is nowhere near as bad, but like Nintendo in particular, you need to fucking embrace the mod community. Mods make the games better. Just think, if we can finally have a mod which has all the Pokemon in the Switch, guess what? I'll get the games and get the mod. Simple as that. You got myself a sale because of mods making the game better. Just like with Victoria 2. There are so many mods in the game that make it much better and such. You need to fucking embrace it. That's another thing too with like Nintendo and Japan too. They're like really strict with copyright. That's how they view it. If you make mods, you're stealing our intellectual property. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Get with the fucking times. At least Sony and Microsoft have. God damn. And if anything, mods, like I said, make the video games better. A lot of mods, too, have made games more prominent, which helped made sales, too. Oh, my God. Harry, you have not been really talking much about this topic. Are you going to add on anything before we move on? Or are you too stunned about me ripping you apart? You there?
Yeah. Nope. I mean, pretty much. I mean, all I understood is that you basically support a fucking mass movement to like, I don't know, like stop buying the new games because you want to bring back the national decks. Because like, no, or I don't know, man. Like, I don't have a fucking opinion on this because like I kind of agree with some PokeTubers when they're like more like actually no, I literally. Like on this issue, I'm literally a moderator. I don't give a fuck. I'll just like I don't know. I'll just play a game just for the fuck of it. Like not because not because I think everything should be in there. Because I don't know, it doesn't really fucking bother me that the national dex is missing. So yeah, I don't know, man.
It annoys me, but for a different reason.
No, I mean, I don't know, Tim, but you just get pissed off for no fucking reason. I understand.
Oh, no reason. It's not like I love Pokemon, playing Pokemon longer than you, and seeing what happened to all my other video game series. Yeah, I have no reason whatsoever to be worried or angry.
No, I mean, I understand you saw their video games suffer some sort of fate, but I mean.
Well, at least we actually know what happened to why the national dex isn't in Switch.
Oh.
We actually know now.
Will you actually confirm that?
Well, it's not entirely confirmed, but from all the stuff we've seen, we can get a good idea as to what happened.
And that's another thing too. The video game industry needs to stop lying about this. Like I mentioned, I did a video on this right before Switch came out about what Vlog said about possibly the reason why the national dex wasn't there, because they couldn't import a lot of their models for some reason or other. Instead of saying, oh, we're going to do this from now on in the future, we're not going to have the national dex, only Pokemon are going to be in certain games and all that, what they should have said was, something happened to our import or whatever what happened, and therefore we can't add all the Pokemon in right now when the game comes out. But we will eventually get them all in the future, you just need to give us time. That's what they should have said instead, and people would maybe have more sympathy for it instead of the controversy that happened. Why is it that hard just to say that? That's very easy. Come on. Well, a lot of it too, it is Japanese culture, because in Japan, you can't ever rat people out, whereas in the West, we don't give a fuck. We will rat anyone out. Yeah. We don't give a shit. And that's something Japanese culture needs to fundamentally change. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it's starting it's in the early to mid processes of collapsing, so...
What, the video game industry?
No, Japanese culture.
Well, yeah,
is in the early to mid stages of collapsing due to everything that's going on with them.
But I think
their suicide rates are sky high. Their
but we're getting
happiness index is really low. Productivity is dropping. Their population is falling.
We're getting off topic. That we need to focus on the video game industry. So, what do you two guys say before we move on to the next topic? We've been talking for almost an hour. We still only gotten for a few of the topics.
Yeah.
So
okay, I think we're going to have to leave the Leftvalues quiz for the first topic of the next episode, because...
We'll see.
Yeah.
But anything left to wrap it up? We've talked enough about the video game industry. Any last thoughts before we move on to something else?
Unions.
Yep. What about you, Harry, since you didn't talk really at all?
Oh yeah, I thought we had time to do the Leftvalues quiz, at the very least.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Let's do that at least. Look. All
right, so I guess we're done talking about that. Maybe we should talk about Andrew Cuomo's scandals now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Harry, since this one matters to you, since you used to be living in New York, how about you bring up the topic?
Yeah, so basically, recently and a few months ago, there were a lot of scandals, about Governor Andrew Cuomo, that not only did recently 3 women come out and accuse him of sexual harassment, but before that, his administration actually lied about the numbers of COVID deaths, which is fucking bullshit, obviously, and wrong, because they literally lied about how shit of a job they're doing COVID. So, because here's the thing, he actually took money from the private nursing industry, nursing home industry, to fund his campaign. So that's the reason he mandated by executive order in New York State to put old people that were COVID positive in nursing homes, which means naturally there's going to be more cases and more people are going to fucking die. So when Kyle says that he literally killed grandma and grandpa, he's actually right, because his fucking policies did that shit.
Yeah.
And not only that, afterwards his administration lied about the numbers, which is fucking bullshit, and the corporate media fawns over him, which is bullshit as well,
because he's not Trump, silly.
Very funny, Timbo. Yeah. No, but the point is, even though his administration fucking lied about it, and there's proof. Like the media lied about it, and they said that he did a good job, even though he fucking did not. So and actually there was recently a New York State Assemblyman named Ron Kim who actually brought up articles of impeachment against Cuomo on the basis that he lied about the COVID about the COVID report numbers. And obviously I support that because not only did he but I mean not only obviously, not only did he lie about the numbers and killed grandma and grandpa like Hal says, but also there's been recently also accusations of sexual harassment, which also need to be looked into because it's not okay to abuse your power as an elected official to obviously harass women, and also
point out his corruption too.
Oh yeah. Not only his corruption, but obviously another fact is that when he was elected governor, he created an anti-corruption board. And then he
just shut it down when they went after him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He was like, guys, I want you to look into corruption in New York State government. But please look the other way when it's about me.
Yep. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Hopefully, this would kill his 2024 chances. That would be awesome. And also, fellow New Yorkers, you do know you had this lovely, awesome person by the name of Cynthia Nixon who ran against Cuomo in 2018. Don't you regret not picking her now? Maybe she would handle COVID much better, and I doubt she would have any sexual assault allegations, and I highly doubt she would be a corrupt prick like Cuomo is. Maybe you should have considered the progressive, because progressives are better, and neo-libs like Cuomo are fucking terrible, and they're alt-right enablers too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to say? Vlog, you didn't even get to say anything really yet.
Well, when it comes to the COVID numbers, the numbers are way lower everywhere. It's not just New York. The real numbers are far higher everywhere. I think we figured out that in reality, Australia had we had 30,000 cases. We actually probably had closer to 100,000 cases. But we managed to avoid a significant death toll due to
actual competent government.
Overwhelm our hospitals.
And having an actual competent government response, unlike America.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it would not have been as competent had Scott Morrison not been absolutely roasted.
Yep.
After his non-response to the wildfires, and he realised if he fucked up his COVID response, the Liberal Party would just about cease to exist at the federal election.
Vlog, I agree, but when it comes to Governor Cuomo in New York, there's actually been a report that revealed that his administration lied about the COVID numbers in New York. So when Assemblyman
did.
But there was actually exactly. There was a report that proved that. So actually, when Assemblyman Ron Kim, he actually has a case to make against impeaching him. So because they actually fucking lied, and like Hal says, he killed grandma and grandpa in the state of New York. So that's why that's why fuck the corporate media for lying about him and saying he did a good job even though he fucking didn't, and he lied about the numbers. So when there's proof by the corporate media, of course, they're fucking idiots, and they only cover the elites, and that's why I fucking hate them so much. The corporate media, that is, yeah.
Yep, he's a neo-lib piece of shit, and hopefully this will kill his chances in 2024, and hopefully his ass. Harry, don't New York have term limits? Because I could have swore he's been their governor since 2011, which means he had to go through 3 terms now.
Actually, Timbo, you're right. Cuomo, he's been governor for 3 terms now. No, as a matter of fact, New York State does not have term limits for the governor. No term limits. Meaning you can run until you die, like FDR. Yeah.
So hopefully in 2022, these scandals will also kill him in that regard, and he can have an actual good progressive governor, maybe. Yo, Cynthia Nixon, could you please run again? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
watch mainstream media and be like, ugh, you want a white woman to run? You're all just a bunch of racists or sexist or some other excuse they'll make you know that.
Andrew Cuomo's a white man. At least it's something in diversity.
Yeah. Alright, so I think we've beaten Cuomo up enough. How about we make fun of idiots running for president 2024? Like, oh no, Rick Wiles, Crowder the retard. Oh no, are you serious?
Yeah. I thought about it. And Wiles is going to try and co-opt progressive talking points to push anti-Semitic conspiracy theories.
Yeah, for any of you who don't know, Rick Wiles is a lunatic, anti-Semitic religious fundamentalist who now all of a sudden starting to sound more like a Christian socialist that Kyle covered recently, remember?
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, wait, what? But they said, I'm like, hold on, listen to the wording.
Yeah.
He does do that. He's also being kind of anti-Semitic, and there's anti-Semitic undertones to everything he's saying.
Yep, speaks the talk, but we know he ain't sincere. And then, oh god, hey, we get to make fun of Crowder retard again like we did in the first episode. Yay, nice to talk about his stupid ass again. I don't know, what is it?
Actually,
it reminds me like in 2016 when Trump ran. Remember all the Democrats were thinking about running, let's run The Rock, or Oprah Winfrey, or Tom Hanks, and all these idiot celebrities that no one gives two fucks about. Now all of a sudden we're having idiots.
Then there was Ben Shapiro, who claimed that the main front runner for 2020 was going to be Stormy Daniels' lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh, Benny boy, what was this about? Facts over feelings? Oh wait, you used your feelings on that? Aw. And if you criticize him, you're anti-Semitic, remember? And remember, if you criticize him, you're anti-Semitic.
Even though you could argue he's the one who's anti-Semitic, ironically.
So what is it now with all these idiot dipshit right-wingers all of a sudden wanting to run in 2024 when they know for a fact they're probably not going to win?
Yeah.
No, hey guys, to be fair, Steven Crowder is actually running for governor of Michigan.
That's also bad too. He can't run.
Yeah.
I could have swore I remember him saying he was like moving to Texas lately. I heard like that from a bunch of idiot right-wingers. Huh?
It was Rogan.
Yeah, that too, but I could have swore I remember him, and of course John Doyle is too. Oh god, we need to make fun of him eventually. I could have swore he wasn't in Michigan anymore.
Moved from Michigan? I don't know.
No.
Hopefully Crowder is too much of a dipshit to be able to run. And of course, remember, we can always look up all the videos of him saying really disgusting things over the years to hopefully tank him.
Yeah, and all the times he's ironically dressed up as a woman.
Yeah.
Because again, I've spoken to several, and specifically male to female trans people who have said that before they think they were trans, they used to dress up as a woman ironically.
Yep, I remember when he compared Bernie to Hitler and Nazis.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic since Bernie...
He's one of the ones who believes that Antifa are communist Nazis who are also members of ISIS, so...
Remember, he said the Nazis gave Germany pro-abortion rights, took away our guns, gave everything healthcare, even though we refuted that. We refuted...
3 hours in the whole video destroying that second talking point, and it was glorious.
And then we spent the first episode ripping apart of that too. Remember those good old days of 2 years ago in the first episode? Oh my god.
Yes.
Plus, he's never funny. The only times he's funny is when he's making a fool of himself for us to laugh at his stupidity. And of course, right wing think this is comedy? Being hateful? Violent? Making a fool of yourself? Well, making a fool of yourself is funny, but not in the way that you expected.
Yes.
Yeah, Crowder cross-dressing is supposed to make a point about fuck the transgender community when we actually make fun of him right back for being an idiot.
Yep.
So what other idiots have you heard maybe running for in 2024? What about you, Harry? Anything to talk about these two idiots so far?
No, basically that obviously No, as you guys know, as I've said, Steven Crowder he's running in 2022 and not 24 for governor of Michigan, not president. And also, of course, it'd be really fucking bad if he actually became governor, because like you cannot like Kyle says that this guy's like wrong about everything. So you can't let him like have any power in Michigan, because like it's gonna turn that state into fucking theocracy, because he actually believes that America was founded on Christian bullshit, even though it was not. It was founded on secular principles. So,
but secularism is But secularism is communist boogery. Remember?
Oh God, Chris Krispy Kreme. Oh God, Candace Owens might be running.
Not that idiot.
Yeah, she might be running. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh God.
Careful.
Candace
she wants to.
fucking Owens. Are you kidding me?
Careful, she'll scream that we're racist somehow, remember?
Yep, she's expressed interest in running.
Fucking race baiting cunt she is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don Jr. and Eric Trump have both considered it.
We need another incompetent buffoon orangutan to make fun of. I can't wait for that.
There we go. Yep, Tucker Carlson has actually declined. He will not run in 2024.
Like you said before.
Yeah.
This is too funny. Listen to all these idiots that actually think they're going to even go anywhere.
Right, we get it.
How much you want to bet?
Yeah.
How much you bet? A whole bunch of them probably won't even make it to the first primary. Oh, wait. Maybe they probably won't even make it to the first debate. Oof.
Oh, come on. There's a part of me that wants Owens to run for like a little bit, and then we could be like, all right, let's dedicate an entire episode of the Liberal Arsehole Show to destroy every single word that Candace Owens said.
Yeah. Or when Voss made fun of her the other few months ago, remember that? That was great, that video of his. Fucking stupid fuck. So yeah,
yes.
I don't know why you idiots that actually consider running in 2022 and 2024, well, I can't dismiss Crowder. He's very big, and unfortunately Whitmer has been a terrible governor of Michigan, so she could easily lose that, which would be unfortunate. Yeah. But the rest of you running in 2024, you know damn well you're not going to run.
No,
so,
but Timbo, it's not a fucking... Timbo, it's not a guarantee, though. You can't let a theocrat like Crowder get power in Michigan. That's like, yes, I'll take a fucking corporate Democrat, because he really fucking sucks. You can't let him get any power. Like,
I have no control, but I'm not in Michigan. That's Whitmer's fault for being a stupid fuck.
No, but I'm not saying you live in Michigan or you can't vote there. But the point is, like unfortunately, that scenario is once again a lesser of two evils scenario. Do you want a theocrat or a corporate Democrat? You decide. You choose. Like,
I'm not voting for either.
No. So Timbo. So you're saying you wouldn't vote then if you lived in.
Wouldn't vote for either one of them. He's a fucking right-wing piece of shit, and she's a right-wing enabling piece of shit. And it's all her fault if he does win. All her fault. And then she's going to make private excuses of how it's all sexism against me and all that, remember?
No,
I know that if Trump doesn't run in 2024, which is very unlikely, DeSantis and Pence will be the two front runners.
And watch, they'll probably implode too.
Wait, Timbo, so is it true that... I've heard recently something like... Is it true that in 2000, like, Ralph Nader took votes from, like, that gave, like, Florida Bush or something?
No, in fact, there was more Democrats that voted for Bush than there were Ralph Nader voters.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard that too. There were Democrats who voted for Bush in 2000.
There was more. It was them more than Nader. And also, there was the butterfly ballot where it was really confusing, and people think they might have they thought were voting for Gore, but ended up voting for Nader by accident.
Yeah, but do you have the numbers though, like on 2000 or because like.
Have you ever heard of Mr. Beats?
No, yeah, I've heard of him.
He did a video destroying this argument that Nader was responsible for Bush winning. Let me go find it again for you to watch later.
I've heard. Because recently I've heard Ben Mankiewicz from TYT say that and Jenks say that some voters from Ralph Nader like took away votes from Gore or something like in Florida, and that's why Bush wanted
Nah.
So
there was enough votes where he actually won. Remember, and also remember, it was the Supreme Court too. They wouldn't let them do the full recount because Al Gore actually did won the state by like 500, 600 votes.
Oh yeah, that's true. It was the Supreme Court who gave it to Bush because they wouldn't let it recount because they said it with Bush for political reasons. That's why he fucking they fucking appointed him president essentially because they didn't allow for a recount even though it was really fucking close. Apparently, so yeah.
So I think we've talked about this topic enough. I actually have the link for that political compass quiz if you want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll have time this episode.
It's only 70 questions.
Even so, it's still
Can we?
It's still. How long have we been doing this?
An hour and 10 minutes.
And how many minutes?
An hour and 10 minutes.
I guess we could.
Yeah, let's.
All right, I posted a link too if y'all want to check it out. So, anyways, to wrap up this episode, we're gonna do another political compass test. This time based upon the left instead to see how much of a leftist we all are. We all have to say about that. Looking forward to that.
Sounds good.
I have the link. I posted it. And then we'll see, in the end, who's the actual true leftist of us three. It'll be quite interesting to see. Alright, so you all have the quiz up?
Yeah.
Alright.
72 questions.
So, first up. Reforming capitalist society to achieve better rights for workers is desirable. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Revolution is the best way to achieve a socialist society.
No. It's kind of even Kyle says because the government has tanks and bombs. Well, so not really. You know.
The negative consequences of a revolution generally outweighs the advantages. Sadly, probably yeah.
Yeah. Liberal democracy is a viable way of achieving a socialist society.
That's probably the only way.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it works. I mean, yeah.
A socialist revolution is made inevitable by the conditions of capitalism.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Workplace democracy within capitalism is an acceptable alternative to complete socialization of the economy.
Yeah.
Like worker co-ops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Revolutionary violence is acceptable as long as the final outcome is positive. No.
Redistributing wealth away from the wealthy through tax is a viable way of defeating inequality. Yep.
Yes.
Help fund infrastructure and all those programs. Modern social democracy is a betrayal of left-wing values. No, it strengthens it. Oppressed people have the right to engage in a violent uprising when all their options have been exhausted.
It depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes
neutral and sure on that one.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. The means of production
must be publicly owned. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It probably would depend for me. Neutral.
Neutral and sure again. I think on that one.
Material conditions and needs are the dominant drive between social economic changes.
No, I'd say yes, because your material well-being
really
matters most.
Probably.
So yeah.
Socialism can only be fully achieved in developed industrialized societies. Probably, yeah.
No, it depends. Maybe some countries in Africa could try it, but
Libya has a pretty good socialist thing. I'm gonna say. I'm actually gonna say neutral and sure because it would come down to there'd be a million different factors involved.
Yeah. From each according to his ability to each according to his need is a good principle. Yeah, I've already said multiple times I agree with that principle.
Theory only, yeah, but.
It is possible to peacefully convince the ruling class to conform to a socialist society.
It depends. If you run a progressive Democrat primary, yes, but revolution, you're never going to win it because the government has tanks and bombs. So, it depends.
I think you're more likely to do it peacefully than through revolution. So I agree.
Yeah.
Capitalism will induce its own demise through contradictions that results in crisis. Yep.
Yes.
Like the video game industry too, and what's going on in the world right now. Capitalism is unstable, it needs to be reformed, and eventually abolished. Class conflict is a force that has influenced much of human history.
Agree.
Yes.
Agree. Yeah.
Holy shit, it has.
The establishment of socialism is a gradual process rather than an instant or rapid one.
It could be gradual, like, because it's not going to happen overnight. So
Yeah.
I mean, socialism won't happen
Especially
overnight.
for social democracy's sake. Society is chiefly driven by individuals and ideas.
Not really, no, because like there are many things that require like collective action. So not really. Like
Maybe
it's
neutral.
not, like it sounds like the bullshit capitalist argument you hear. Oh, it's only individuals and individual decisions. No, sometimes you need collective action to like protect like the greater good, so to speak. So yeah, I would argue.
Total economic and social equality is realistically possible to achieve.
No.
I mean, not really, because Kyle says it's all about nature, and it's not always. It's not always nurture. It's both.
An economy is generally designed better when it is organized bottom up rather than top down.
Yep.
Agree. Bottom up. Yeah.
Local planners rather than national planners are more effective at running a planned economy.
No, that's interesting because like it's saying that like it's better to do it locally than because like at local level better as opposed to like the national level. So
it depends. It does depend though.
Yeah.
Because if we let Republicans do anything, they're gonna on purpose fuck it up. Whereas if we did on a national level, they can't stop us. So neutral. Yeah. A centrally planned economy based around computers is a concept worth investigating.
Not really, because it sounds like NSA spying and like so.
That sounds like something that's probably way out of the realm right now.
Yeah, I'd say disagree at the moment, though not strongly.
I'm neutral. In underdeveloped societies, a centrally planned economy is the best way to make rapid progress.
That's an interesting idea. Like it might, like if you go to poor countries, maybe at first you need a planned economy to make them more, make them more advanced. Like
you sound like you're making Vicky 2 references. But it's probably neutral because it probably depends.
Yeah.
The principles of workplace democracy and self-management are desirable.
Yes.
Strongly agree.
Yeah. The state can be best defined as a monopoly on violence and oppression.
This sounds like an anti.
That sounds like an anarchist argument.
Yeah, anarchist. So not really. No, I disagree.
Neutral. A highly centralized planned economy is not socialist, but rather state capitalism.
Interesting. It might be. No, it might be. I don't know, because like when you have the government do everything.
Soviet Union was state capitalist. China was and is state capitalist.
That sounds like almost into like theory, which is not really my.
That's neutral, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm neutral because I'm not into like the theory stuff. Bureaucracy and inefficiency are always inherent in centrally planned economies.
I mean, sometimes yes, sometimes no, but which is why we support mixed economy, because for some things
neutral again.
Yeah.
For some things you need private sector, so yeah. For some things government.
Is this good as dictatorship of proletariat as a transitionary stage between capitalism and socialism? No. That's what they did in the Soviet Union, and it went state capitalist instead of socialist.
Yep. Yeah. The government should be capable of assigning individuals to workplaces.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends. So
I'm still trying to figure out what this exactly means.
I know. I think it means maybe
like a jobs program.
Jobs program. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah.
Or like a right to work law. I mean, I'm right.
Yeah.
Maybe probably agree.
Yeah, I agree.
A world socialist republic is a realistic and desirable goal. I said before, I think like some sort of like one world government, like communism too, and open borders. I think those are inevitable. It's just when and how they're done. I don't know if it's necessarily a desirable or realistic goal, so neutral for me.
Neutral, unsure on that one?
Nationalism and patriotism are impulses that are unacceptable in a socialist society.
It depends. Like, sometimes, I mean
if they split nationalism and patriotism, this would be so much easier.
It depends on what kind of patriotism and nationalism is it.
Yeah.
Because if it's the US, those two are pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
But in other countries, it's not.
No, but they're different though. Like
yeah, so probably neutral.
Yeah, neutral. But they do point out that that in the US, nationalism and patriotism are pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. The global socialist movement should be led by a single party or organization. Don't even think that's really possible.
No, it's not. Really
No, that will not. That would not thing.
Foreign officials have no right to dictate policies in another country.
No, I agree because this is like.
Agree.
No, I agree because every country have self-determination. So.
Open borders between like-minded socialist countries is desirable.
Disagree.
Not really.
Any socialist country should be dedicated to exporting their ideology abroad. That depends. That depends on what you mean by.
No, yeah, but like it implies like neocon bullshit. So no.
Or I can view it more like Japan when it comes to like their cultural crap, like video games and all that. Do it like economic spread instead of war.
I still disagree.
I'm neutral.
Yeah.
Just not strongly.
People of similar cultures should unite in federations or confederations. If it's democratic, I don't give a crap.
That one would probably be a neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The international proletariat belongs to no country.
I mean, I don't see how this will work because like for better organization, it's better to have like nation states. But like I don't see how this will work, so I'm not really sure.
National liberation or self-determination for all peoples is a good concept.
Yes.
All right. I would be willing to sacrifice economic resources in my home country in order to help other countries.
I think this means international aid. So I mean, some is okay. I guess like international aid. Yeah.
Socialist political parties should participate in liberal democratic elections. Yeah. That's the best way. That's the best way you can get in. Trade unions and workers' councils should form the basis of a socialist society.
I agree because like trade unions and workers' councils are important because they keep the interests of the workers in mind. Yeah.
The leadership of political parties in the progression towards socialism will always lead to authoritarianism. No, it depends.
Not necessarily. No.
Democratic centralism is an authoritarian organization structure that disregards the masses.
That sounds like that's
only a mass. What were you saying?
That sounds. I'd have to look that up later, but that kind of sounds like state capitalism.
Yeah. Only a mass workers' party can achieve any meaningful long-term goals.
Yeah.
Probably neutral.
No, it depends.
Yeah. Mass spontaneous actions are more effective than carefully planned actions. The fuck is that supposed to mean necessarily?
I have no idea.
A lot of these sound like theory stuff.
No, they are. But I think it means that whether you carefully plan, like, I guess it means policy versus impulse. I don't know. I don't know.
The fact that so many
unsure.
Yeah, a lot of us are gonna have neutral unsure because a lot of them don't make fully much sense to us. The fact that so many workers vote for bourgeois parties over socialist parties is proof that party politics is no longer relevant. Nah. You can convince them to vote for socialist parties. It's not that hard. You just got to get past the propaganda. Socialist organizations are generally better off when organized loosely and decentrally. Again.
No, it depends, I guess.
Yeah, neutral.
It could work, yeah.
Trade unionism has been largely corrupted by the ruling class and is no longer a viable structure for a social society. No, but it is corrupt in some forms and sometimes too, and weakened.
But disagree, but not strongly.
Yeah. You still need unions though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still. Yeah.
Revive unions and get rid of the corrupting forces. Climate change is a major global threat that all socialists must fiercely combat. Yep.
I agree.
You don't even need to be a socialist for that. You should just be against it. Fight regardless. Measures to address environmental issues are unacceptable if they result in significant decreases in production quality of life.
No, that's not necessarily true though. Disagree.
Especially since it is foolish to expect renewable energy sources to be able to replace fossil fuels. In the future, that will be the case.
In the future, yeah, we eventually will. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Strongly disagree. It's going to eventually, especially since all the fossil fuels are largely finite, remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Industrialized farming practices must be abolished even if it leads to lower outputs.
It depends. Like, I mean, we still need it to for food production. So, I guess I'd say
disagree, but not strongly.
Yeah, disagree. Yeah.
It would be important to implement extensive environmental protections as part of achieving socialism. Yeah.
Strongly agree. Yeah.
Experimental environmental friendly food sources like cultured meat are worth investing in.
Interesting.
I'm wondering if they're talking about maybe like the lab grown meat movement, if you've heard about that one. I talked about it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a way away though. It's still a way away of apparently from that actually getting up to a decent quality. They're still having a lot of issues with it.
Yeah, that's something that needs to eventually happen in the future, because that is a huge problem with climate changes, farming, and meat growing and all that. Personal motor vehicles such as cars should be replaced with free public transportation.
No, interesting. Like, I wouldn't ban cars, but I support
there are
free
places I am not able to get to for work through public transport.
This sounds more likely towards like city life, where cars are not really needed if you're in a city. You can use public transportation.
Exactly. Yeah.
But disagree. Let people have cars if they want them. It is acceptable for humanity to suffer to some notable extent in order to preserve the natural ecosystem.
Not really. No. No.
Not exactly fully sure what that means, as we got 14 more left. We must radically alter our food consumption in order to limit the exploitation of nature. Yeah.
Yeah.
Human population growth must be curbed to prevent ecological disaster. Absolutely.
Yes.
God, the world's population honestly needs to be cut in half in order to be
More than
sustainable.
half.
Yeah. Some small-scale destruction of nature is acceptable if it notably benefits humanity. It depends on what it is, though.
It depends, yeah.
Humanity. You have to be neutral, I'm sure, on that one.
Yep. Humanity must return to the primitive ways of the past to overcome long-term climate issues.
Even
if we did that...
Technology brought us into this mess. Technology's getting us out as best we can.
And even if we did all of a sudden just do that, it's not going to stop climate change, because remember, all the CO2 and emissions we put in the atmosphere, they can stay up there for, depending on, from what I heard, up to like thousands of years to possibly millions of years. Even if we stopped, like right now, producing...
In fact, even after the human effects of climate change have been scrubbed out, we're still going to have 10% of the carbon dioxide we put in will still be there.
We must accept that the social state of the 20th century failed to seriously address environmental issues. Yeah, a lot of them did fail massively. Especially, remember, what was it called?
The Soviet Union were horrific for that. I've got a friend who lives in the Ukraine who was actually born, I think it was just after the Soviet Union collapsed, and he's told me about several of the horrors when it comes to environmental stuff.
Like the Aral Sea? The Aral Sea, remember? That's a big one.
Yep, that's the one I'm thinking of.
The oppression of the LGBTQ plus people is a major issue and needs to be seriously addressed. Yep, definitely.
Yes,
yep. Traditional gender roles such as women being home workers need to be overcome. No, let women decide what they want to be. Simple as that.
Yeah.
If they want to be stay-at-home mothers, let them. But if they want to work, let them. That's how you should be. Marriage
is a patriarchal social construct that should be phased out.
No, it depends.
No. That sounds like some kind of neo-feminist thing.
If people want to get married, they can still do it without being coerced or anything. It's not just all patriarchy.
Abortion is an immoral act that should be banned or significantly limited. Strongly disagree.
No. Religion overall has had a mostly positive impact.
Strongly disagree.
Yeah, and remain influential in society. Absolutely not. Minority populations should receive special legal protections. Yeah, it depends on what it is, though.
We'll agree, but not strongly.
Yeah. I agree, yeah.
A socialist government has no right to dispute religious or cultural traditions in any situation. No, if they're causing problems and they're impeding on people's rights, fuck no. They should.
Prisons are oppressive and antiquated institutions that need to be abolished.
No.
Disagree, but prisons do need reform.
Yep.
Yes.
Policies that enable mass migration are naive and should not be implemented. It depends on what form you want, so neutral. Last one. You cannot achieve a social society while also making significant social progress.
Strongly agree,
Yeah, we gotta make that too. Yeah. All right.
All right.
So I guess Oh my God, there's so many things on here. We can't even show in one page unless we zoom out.
Yeah, there's reformist, neutral, nationalist. There's a lot of shit.
Well, according to this, I'm a democratic socialist. There's my value.
Left-wing nationalist, followed by centrist Marxist.
So, according to this, I'm very reformist on the Revolution Reform page. When it comes to scientific or utopian, I'm more scientific. Central versus decentral, I'm neutral. When it comes to national, international or national, I'm slightly more national. When it comes to party or union, I'm more towards neutral, but towards party. Ecological versus nature, I'm more towards nature. And conservative versus progressive, I'm overwhelmingly progressive, of course.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys got? You're missing one page, though, Harry. The bottom one, conservative.
Where are we?
Oh, damn it!
So Tim is 76.5. Harry is 73.9, and I'm 77. Wow, okay, on the first one, I'm once again top. 64.1, 59.4. 67.2, 41.7, 58.3, 58.3, and 58. Okay, so we're all thing on central versus decentral. We're neutral. National versus international. Whoa, Tim's neutral. Harry's 37. Oh wow, out of national and international. Harry's the most?
Most what?
62.5, and I'm 60. Yeah, he's the most in national, international. He's the most towards the national side out of the three of us.
And I'm towards international more, surprisingly.
Yep.
Because you guys believe in fucking world government. That's funny.
So you're gonna post our last picture, Harry?
And 57.7. So Tim and I are we tied? Yep. Harry, Tim and I are tied on party versus union. Ecological 33.3.
70% progressive.
9 and 33.3. So Tim and I tie again. And what's your number for progressive versus conservative, Harry?
No, I'm 71% progressive.
73.5. 73.5. So on the bottom three, Tim and I are equal.
I'm also.
We're all equal on the the central versus decentral. Harry is the most on national versus international, and then on the other two, I'm the top again.
So what? So I was. What were you said? Left-wing nationalists.
Yep. Yours is democratic socialism. What was yours, Harry?
Mine was also left-wing nationalist.
Ah, okay.
So I'm curious, which one's the most left, though?
I think.
I think democratic socialism.
I don't know.
Let's see. According to my thing, it says I'm 93.5% close to left-wing nationalism.
Ah.
And maybe you should compare you.
I think, judging by the fact that centrist Marxism is 99.5.
I'm 99.6.
What?
I'm 99.6 centrist Marxism.
Huh.
I'm
so we're all pretty much equal on that.
And I'm 0 Marxist Leninism.
Marxist Leninism, I'm 5% on that, but I'm 0% anarcho-communism.
I'm 3.2%.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Council communism, that's what my brother is.
6.4% for council communism.
Yeah.
This is definitely very interesting to see.
Yeah.
So what about you, Harry? What does it say about you being close at?
Once again, I love that when it comes to things like that. There always seems there. This one, Tim and I are basically tied on, and on the others that and on the others that we aren't, I somehow am more one way than he is. That always seems to happen with me.
Probably a lot of it's probably because we answered neutral on a lot of the questions.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that was definitely very interesting. Maybe in the future we should do the I side with, although that's more American centric. But remember, you can write in your own opinions on something.
Also, remember, there's also there's a very. I think we'll be doing ours slightly different though, Tim, because there's a version for Australia as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
might even be a different one for Cyprus. So we might wind up doing 3 different ones.
All right.
Different ones.
So anything to say about our quiz? Can't wait to make the slide compare us between each other.
Yeah.
But Harry,
I found it all interesting.
So Harry, maybe you should type into what your conservative progressive range is, since you can't show the picture.
Oh, let me type. No, I'll type it because like I fucking lost it.
Yeah, that way I can type it. That way I can type it in later when I do the slide.
Yeah, it's 71%.
Okay.
Yeah, so very interesting. So we all have to say about this quiz to see how leftist we are.
It is very interesting. I will say that.
It is interesting. Wait, Timbo, so you're not really into that much theory, I guess? Wait.
Not really much. Not my strength.
No.
I guess that's why I ended up as Democratic Socialist instead.
Okay.
So, that'll be that.
Democratic Socialism is a form of...
There is a good chance that it could be more than 2 weeks before we do the next episode. I've got a big thing with work and other things coming up that week, so there's a good chance I'm going to be too tired to do less.
Maybe we can think of another day. Of course, we got to think of another time possibly too, remember, with daylight savings time coming up.
The problem with that time period is I could potentially be back at work the following Monday, so I really would need that Sunday to rest.
What about any other day, maybe? I guess we can... What about other days?
I literally cannot guarantee any other day of the week due to work.
Well, I guess we can maybe think of something during the meantime.
Yeah.
Of course, we have to see about daylight savings time, too, since I'm sure mine's coming up soon. All right, so anything left to say about the quiz before we head off?
Not really.
Harry, you?
I think we're good, yeah.
All right, so that will wrap up this episode. As Harry Vlog said, we might not possibly be able to do the episode in 2 weeks from now, so this might be the only episode for March, but we'll have to wait and see. Just see you guys then, and hopefully we could do it. See you guys next time, though.
See ya.